What happens when the strongest being in the Marvel Universe, the Incredible Hulk, finds himself hurled into a galaxy where there is no mercy, no peace, and no happy endings? A place where strength alone does not guarantee survival, and where even gods die screaming in the void. What happens when rage meets the grim darkness of the 41st millennium? Stay with me till the end of this video, because what unfolds is not just a clash of universes, it's the tale of what happens when unstoppable fury meets the unyielding nightmare that is Warhammer 40K. By the end, you'll know whether even the Hulk's limitless rage can stand against the Emperor's Imperium, the demonic tides of chaos, and the cruel machinery of a galaxy that knows only war. It began not with a choice, but with a catastrophe. On Earth, Hulk had faced gods, monsters, and cosmic beings, but nothing prepared him for the experiment that would tear him from his own reality. Deep in a SHIELD facility, a desperate attempt to study interdimensional radiation went horribly wrong. Bruce Banner, caught in the event's core, felt the world twist around him. Space folded, time screamed, and the Green Titan was pulled into an abyss that defied physics. When his body slammed against the ground, it cracked mountains. He rose, confused, surrounded by skies choked with ash and the bitter taste of iron. There was no sun, only the dying glow of orbital bombardments in the distance. He could feel it immediately. Something here was wrong. The air was heavy with despair, and even the ground beneath his feet trembled with pain. Hulk looked around, but there were no heroes. No Avengers, no Earth, only endless ruin and the smell of death. His first encounter came fast. A squad of Astra Militarum soldiers, terrified in battle, scarred, retreating from a tyrannid swarm. They saw him as another monster, another nightmare in a galaxy already overflowing with horrors. They opened fire. Lasguns flickered like fireflies against his skin. Hulk didn't understand their words, their banners, or their terror. But he understood the pain of being attacked, and his anger began to rise. He smashed the ground, sending shockwaves that flattened the soldiers and shattered the landscape. The Tyrannids, sensing new prey, swarmed toward him. Hundreds of chittering creatures leapt from the dark, claws flashing. Hulk roared, a sound so powerful it split the air. When the dust cleared, the entire swarm lay broken and burning, their acidic blood seeping into the soil. From that moment, the galaxy had taken notice. Sensors across nearby Imperial outposts recorded the seismic event. A new life form had appeared, one of impossible strength, unregistered by the Mechanicus, unblessed by the Emperor. Whispers spread through the ranks. A new Xenos weapon, a demon, a god of flesh and rage. And somewhere in the depths of the warp, something heard that roar. The Chaos Gods turned their gaze toward this new arrival. Khorne, the blood god, Lord of Skulls, felt a pulse of excitement. A being whose fury could shatter worlds. A soul that lived for rage and destruction. Hulk's arrival was no accident. It was a challenge. The warp rippled with laughter. The galaxy was about to meet rage incarnate. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time. Demanded obedience, not curiosity. As orbital transports tore through the smog, Hulk wandered through the desolation, still trying to make sense of this world. His rage had cooled slightly, replaced by confusion. He had seen the soldiers' insignias, golden aquillas, and skulls, symbols of something larger, perhaps a civilization, maybe even help, but every structure he found was lifeless, burned, or abandoned. The galaxy felt dead, but he could sense eyes watching him, always watching. Then the thunder of engines filled the air. Imperial Valkyries screamed overhead, and from them descended the Emperor's chosen space marines of the Crimson Fist's chapter. Clad in ceramite and devotion. They landed like meteors. The captain, his armor scarred and sanctified, raised his bolt pistol and shouted across the wasteland, "Xeno's creature, in the name of the Emperor of mankind, identify yourself or be purged." Hulk didn't understand. He heard the tone, the command, the threat, and his eyes began to glow. He didn't want to fight. Not this time, but their weapons fired first. The first salvo hit him like a storm of fire. Bolter shells exploded against his skin, leaving smoking marks but no blood. The Marines watched in disbelief as the creature turned toward them, unburned, unbroken. He roared, and the world trembled. The next seconds were chaos. Hulk leapt into their ranks faster than their auto-senses could track. One swing of his arm shattered 3 Space Marines at once. Another blow sent a dreadnought flying into a cliff face, its adamantium shell crumpling like tin. The captain, realizing what they faced, activated a distress beacon. "By the throne, send reinforcement. This is no Xenos. This is..." His transmission ended with a single punch that cratered the ground. When silence fell again, only one thing remained standing: Hulk, breathing heavily, surrounded by fire and ruin. But the Imperium had many eyes. The Inquisition now had proof of something beyond comprehension. And they were not the only ones watching. Far away, aboard a blackstone fortress drifting through the void, a figure cloaked in crimson robes observed the battle through scrying orbs. The sigil of Mars glowed on his chest. His voice crackled with synthetic distortion as he spoke to his attendant servitors. "Record this anomaly. A biological engine of destruction. No known genetic marker. The Omnissiah will want this specimen alive." And deep within the warp, Khorne's laughter shook the ether. He had found a champion worthy of his gaze. A new war had begun, not for survival, not for conquest, but for the soul of rage itself. Far beyond the veil of real space, within the seething madness of the warp, 4 ancient gods turned their gaze toward the green titan who had just shaken the material realm. Hulk's fury had not only shattered bodies, it had torn at the veil itself. Every roar, every strike, echoed through the immaterium like thunder rolling across eternity. Khorne***, Lord of Rage and Murder, was the first to take notice. His throne of skulls trembled with amusement and hunger. A mortal whose every heartbeat is violence. He growled, "No devotion, no prayer, just pure, primal wrath. He is mine." But the others did not agree. **Tease. Each ***, the architect of fate, whispered through 1,000 shifting faces. A creature beyond destiny. Even rage has a pattern, and he breaks it. His laughter echoed like cracking glass. "Perhaps I can twist him." Nurgle chuckled in the darkness. "He endures pain beyond measure and grows stronger from it. Such resilience, such beautiful decay of sanity. He would make a fine garden seed." Even Slaanesh***, draped in silk and screams, watched with fascination. So much raw emotion, so unrefined imagine that passion sculpted to perfection. The warp rippled with discord. None of them could claim him yet. Hulk was not of their creation, not bound by the psychic laws that governed mortals. He was an intruder in both body and soul, a being of pure physics, not faith. But Khorne would not let go. With a guttural roar that shook the brass citadel, the blood god hurled his will across reality, manifesting a rift on Lathria 9. The skies split open in a torrent of red lightning. On the planet's surface, Hulk felt it before he saw it. A sudden surge of energy, familiar yet foreign, like an echo of his own anger. The ground split beneath his feet, rivers of molten blood cutting through the wasteland. From the fissure rose figures of metal and bone ***, bloodletters ***, Khorne's foot soldiers, shrieking with hunger. They came at him like an ocean of blades. Hulk turned, bellowed, and met them head on. Fists smashed through demonic skulls. Claws tore into his skin only to heal seconds later. The battlefield became a storm of gore and thunder. But this time, something was different. As he fought, Hulk felt his rage intensify not just from within, but as if the world itself was feeding it. Every bloodletter slain made his fury rise higher, his muscles swell, his skin glow brighter. The energy of the warp itself was amplifying his power. In the eye of terror, Khorne rose from his throne. Yes, he thundered, show me your wrath, become the god you were born to be. For the first time, Hulk's roar tore through the warp. Across countless battlefields, demons paused, and space marines looked skyward in dread. A single voice echoed in every mind touched by the Imperium. ***, Hulk is rage. ***, and for a heartbeat, the warp itself flinched. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time. News of the anomaly spread faster than light. Within days, the whispers reached the halls of Terra itself. The High Lords convened, their faces pale beneath the golden banners of the Imperium. An entity beyond comprehension had torn through Imperial forces like parchment. Some demanded exterminatus upon the planet. Others argued that such strength could not simply be destroyed. It had to be studied, harnessed, or perhaps even used ***. The Inquisition, of course, did not wait for politics. A conclave of Ordo Xenos and Ordo Malleus gathered aboard the battle barge ***, Divine Wrath ***. Their leader, Inquisitor Halbrecht, an ancient man sustained by augmetics and sheer will, watched the recordings of Hulk's rampage in silence. His bionic eye flickered, scanning every frame, every motion. When the feed ended, he spoke only one word: abomination. And yet, even as he prepared to purge this new threat, the Emperor himself, enshrined upon the golden throne ***, felt it ***. Across the immeasurable gulf of the warp, the psychic shockwave of Hulk's fury reached him. For the first time in millennia, something stirred deep within the Emperor's immobile form. His mind, vast and eternal, brushed against the raw essence of Hulk's rage and recognized something familiar. ***, a reflection. ***, for the Emperor too had known boundless wrath, the fury of conquest, of betrayal, of a humanity torn apart by its own arrogance. And now this green titan burned with that same primordial fire. In the echoing silence of the throne room, the Emperor's presence rippled through the Astronomicon, touching the minds of his most faithful servants. Among them was ***, Rogel Dorn's ***, genetic line, the Crimson Fists, who had already faced the monster and failed. Their chaplains felt it as divine command to capture the beast, not destroy it. Meanwhile, on Lathria 9, the Mechanicus had arrived. Legions of Skitarii and towering titans surrounded the cratered wastelands where Hulk had last been seen. Massive containment pylons were driven into the ground, generating fields that could disrupt warp energies and gravity alike. But Hulk was already changing. His mind, usually simple in its anger, was now flooded with psychic whispers. Voices of gods, machines, and ghosts clashed inside his skull. He stumbled through the ruins, clutching his head, roaring at the skies. Every word he didn't understand, every image of war, every prayer screamed into his mind until he could take no more. When the Mechanicus finally found him, he was kneeling amidst a circle of shattered bloodletters, breathing like a dying storm. Magos Clint, leader of the expedition, stepped forward in awe. "Behold, brothers, the flesh-made weapon. This is no Xenos. This is the machine god's forgotten wrath." They didn't get the chance to study him. The containment pylons activated, flooding the area with arcs of red lightning. Hulk screamed, the energy slicing into his muscles, but instead of weakening him, it made him stronger. Every volt, every jolt of pain fueled his rage. The Titans opened fire, the world erupted. When the smoke cleared, there was no camp, no pylons, no army. Only a crater that stretched for miles, glowing with molten metal. And in the distance, something vast and gold stirred in the warp. The Emperor was watching. The galaxy convulsed. Hulk's explosion of rage had torn open reality itself. Warp storms bled across entire sectors, communications failed, and Imperial astropaths screamed until their minds burned out. The Adeptus Mechanicus declared it an act of organic heresy. The Inquisition labeled it an omen. And far across the stars, the Chaos Gods watched, fighting to lay claim to this new force of destruction that neither faith nor physics could contain. But Hulk no longer cared who watched. Every blow he struck now carried the power of suns. He tore through the skies of Lathria 9, ripping apart the atmosphere itself as he launched into orbit, seeking the source of the pain inside his mind. The invisible presence that had begun whispering to him through the warp, "Why do you rage?" it asked. "Leave Hulk alone." He thundered back into the void. Rage gives you strength, but it also chains you. You fight to survive, yet you could *** rule. ***, it wasn't Khorne this time. It was something older, deeper, the psychic echo of the Emperor himself, projected through the Astronomicon like a voice of God. The Emperor did not speak to mortals, but Hulk was no mortal. He was a wound in reality, a tear in the fabric of both matter and mind. The Emperor's voice grew clearer. "You are fury given form. You are what humanity has forgotten, the will to defy all things. Yet without purpose, your rage will consume all creation. I will give you meaning." And for a moment, just one Hulk hesitated. The void fell silent. For the first time since his arrival, he wasn't fighting. He was listening, but then the warp screamed. Khorne's legions poured through the rift once more, led by a *** bloodthirster, ***, the size of a fortress. Its wings blotted out the stars, its axe forged from the skulls of extinct gods. The creature pointed at Hulk and roared, "You belong to Khorne." The bloodthirster struck first. Its blade tore through moons, its roar shattered hulls of orbiting ships. Hulk met it with his fists, colliding with such force that the warp shuddered. The two titans battled across the heavens, each strike detonating like an orbital bombardment. Down below, the Imperium watched in awe and terror. Even the Inquisitor Halbrecht fell to his knees as the sight filled every viewing screen. By the throne, is this the end of mankind? The Mechanicus began to chant prayers of computation, trying to record data from the impossible battle. Space Marines aboard the * Divine, Wrath * whispered litanies as they prepared their souls for death. The warp storms were swallowing the sector whole. Then, through the fire, Hulk grabbed the bloodthirster by its throat. He roared not just in rage, but in defiance of gods. No one owns Hulk. He crushed the demon's skull with his bare hands. The warp recoiled. Khorne himself leaned forward upon his throne, his amusement giving way to fury. "Then let the galaxy drown in your wrath," he hissed. And with that, the barrier between real space and the warp shattered completely. Hulk fell through the rift, descending into the Eye of Terror itself. Now, even the Emperor's golden light could no longer reach him. Inside the Eye of Terror, reality was meaningless. Time did not move forward, it folded, bled, and screamed. Planets floated upside down, stars wept rivers of blood, and legions of demons fought endless wars for their masters. And now, something new had entered their hell. Hulk crashed through a continent made of bone and fire, his impact birthing earthquakes that tore across the war. Realms of Khorne. Rivers of molten brass boiled, the sky rained skulls. Demons flocked to him, drawn by the scent of his defiance. They came in millions. Blades, claws, and wings filled the red horizon, but Hulk didn't run. His rage was limitless, and here, in the warp, that fury had no ceiling. The laws of physics had surrendered to emotion, and Hulk was emotion made flesh. Every heartbeat spawned shockwaves of green fire. The first demons fell like insects, then the second wave, then the third. Soon, the tides of Khorne's armies were nothing but vapor. From his throne, the blood god watched silently. Khorne had seen empires burn, gods die, galaxies devoured, but never had he seen his own creations obliterated by a single mortal will. But Hulk wasn't finished. He raised his eyes toward the brass citadel that towered in the distance, a mountain of skulls that stretched beyond sight. Something deep inside him whispered that this was where it all led, that this was where he'd find peace, or his end. He leapt, each jump shattered continents, each landing sent ripples through the warp. When he reached the citadel, the air burned with divine wrath. Khorne rose, his form towering over mountains, his armor burning brighter than suns. "So you defy me, mortal." The blood god's voice broke the sky. "You think your rage equals mine?" Hulk looked up, unflinching. Hulk not God, Hulk just angry. Then he charged. The collision was cataclysmic. Khorne's axe met Hulk's fists, and entire realities collapsed. Every strike they traded shattered a world. Every roar destroyed a solar system's worth of demons. The warp trembled. Even the other chaos gods withdrew, watching the impossible battle in silence. For millennia, or seconds, it was impossible to tell they fought. Hulk's fury never waned, never cooled. He did not tire, did not yield. At last, Khorne drove his axe into Hulk's chest, pinning him to the ground. The warp fell silent, and then Hulk smiled. Puny god. With that, he broke the axe in half, grabbed Khorne by the horns, and slammed him into the ground with such force that the brass planes cracked open. A green light exploded outward, tearing through the eye of terror. Every demon screamed as the shockwave turned them to ash. The impossible had happened. A mortal had struck down a chaos god, but victory came at a cost. The warp itself began to collapse around Hulk, folding inwards. He stood amidst the chaos, his chest torn open, blood glowing like emerald suns. He looked up into the dying sky and whispered, "Hulk's tired." For the first time, the galaxy's eternal storm began to fade. The eye of terror flickered, its storms dimming, its screams silencing. And in that moment, perhaps for a second, perhaps forever, the galaxy knew peace. When the eye of terror went silent, the galaxy itself seemed to hold its breath. The Astronomicon flickered and steadied. Warp travel resumed. For the first time in 10,000 years, Imperial navigators reported calm in the Imperium. And yet, no one could understand ***. Why ***? Across the Segmentum Solar, the Inquisition's vaults overflowed with contradictory reports. Entire demon worlds simply erased, chaos fleets reduced to drifting debris, and the presence of a green light seen blazing through the warp before vanishing entirely. Some whispered that the Emperor had struck the final blow against chaos. Others said it was something far older, something alien. On Mars, the Mechanicus fell into a frenzy. Magos Clint's surviving data. Fragments described a biological weapon capable of defying the warp's will. They named it *** Project Gamma ***, and in secret laboratories, They began to search for traces of its radiation signature. For them, Hulk was no monster. He was proof that the Omnissiah's perfection could exist in flesh. The ecclesiarchy, however, called it blasphemy. Preachers across Terra denounced the idea that any being, no matter how strong, could stand against a god. Yet even they could not ignore the evidence. The warp storms had quieted, demonic incursions had ceased, and billions of souls were finally able to sleep without nightmares. And far beneath the golden throne, within the vaults of the Imperial Palace, a single flicker of psychic flame glowed brighter than before. The Emperor's withered form shifted almost imperceptibly, and for a fleeting instant, his lips moved. "Thank you." No one heard it, but deep within the fading warp, a lonely figure drifted through the void. Hulk's body glowed faintly, cracked with energy. The warp around him tried to reform, to rebuild its chaos, but it couldn't touch him. He floated between realities, neither dead nor alive, no longer bound to any universe. In the silence, fragments of memory passed through his mind: Earth, Banner, Betty, pain, fear, rage, endless battles. He had fought gods, armies, monsters, but here there was nothing left to fight. And for the first time in eternity, Hulk felt peace. He closed his eyes, his breathing slowed, his green light dimmed. Somewhere in the distance, a new star was born, its radiation pulsing with a faint emerald hue. The Adeptus Mechanicus would one day find it and name it **Gamma Solis **, the Star of Wrath. They would never know what it truly was. But among the psychers of the Imperium, whispers would spread, that in the warp's darkest corners, when all hope seems lost and the demons close in, some still hear a faint echo. A distant roared, defiant, eternal, unbroken. Hulk's smash. Centuries passed, the story of the Green Titan faded into myth, buried beneath layers of dogma and fear. The Imperium, vast and decaying, had no space for legends that did not glorify the Emperor. Yet across the stars, whispers endured, spoken in the hidden corners of hive cities, among voidfarers who claimed to see green lightning in the warp, and by warriors who swore that in their darkest hour, a voice of fury gave them strength. The orcs in particular remembered. Their shamans, the Weird Boys, spoke of a being who smashed da blood god and burned red worlds green. To them, Hulk became a god in his own right, da green smashka **, a spirit of unstoppable might. Orc warbands began painting their armor brighter, chanting his name before battle. Their Wog energy, already potent psychic force, grew stronger. Across countless worlds, orcs shouted in unison, "Da Green one never loses." The Imperium noticed. Orc activity surged beyond recorded limits. Every campaign, every crusade, was marked by unnatural resistance and strength among greenskin hordes. The Inquisition, alarmed, traced the phenomenon back to a single psychic nexus, the Gamma Solis star system. When a fleet was dispatched to investigate, they found something impossible. The green star pulsed like a living heart, radiating waves of energy that stabilized nearby warp routes. Around it drifted wreckage, old demonic fragments, twisted remains of chaos warships, and at the center, what looked like a fist the size of a city, carved into the surface of an asteroid. The Mechanicus attempted to approach, but every probe melted before reaching the surface. The energy signature was not of warp, nor of plasma or radiation. It was something else, something primal. The data was classified immediately. The system was declared forbidden, and yet, those who had seen it spoke of a strain, calm that filled their minds when they looked at the green star, a peace born not from hope, but from strength. the kind that comes after surviving the impossible. Among the Astartes, new chapters began to rise, their colors bright green and gold. They claimed to serve the Emperor's will, but their battle cries told a different story. Strength through fury, survival through wrath. Unbeknownst to the Imperium, their gene seed carried faint anomalies, resilience beyond measure, muscle density bordering on the divine. Some called them cursed. Others whispered that they were blessed by something ancient and forgotten. In the dark age that followed, when the warp once again began to stir and chaos returned to gnaw at reality, billions prayed to the Emperor, but a few prayed to someone else, someone who had fought even the gods of chaos and refused to kneel. They did not pray for mercy. They prayed for strength. They prayed for Hulk ***, and somewhere beyond time, in the endless quiet between realities, a green light flickered once more. 10,000 years after the fall of chaos and the birth of the Gamma Solis star, the galaxy was once again teetering on the edge of annihilation. The Imperium was fracturing under its own weight. Heresy, rebellion, and the slow decay of faith gnawed at its heart. The Astronomicon flickered, warped, storms returned, and across the Segmentum Pacificus, whispers began to spread of an ancient power returning from the void. It began with a single ship, a derelict cruiser that drifted into Imperial space from the direction of Gamma Solis. Its hull was melted and fused, its engines dead. When a boarding party entered, they found no crew, no signs of life. Only green handprints scorched into the metal walls, each one large enough to crush a dreadnought. The ship's logs were corrupted, repeating only one phrase in binary over and over. ***, the strong return. ***, within months, entire sectors began reporting impossible events, worlds once lost to chaos, suddenly liberated by unknown forces. Demonic incursions stopped by storms of emerald light, and orc hordes uniting under a banner none had seen before, a colossal green fist wrapped in golden chains. The Imperium named it heresy, the orcs called it prophecy, the rest of the galaxy called it the *** Gamma Crusade ***. From the Gamma Solis system erupted fleets unlike anything the Mechanicus could comprehend. Their ships were crude yet unbreakable, glowing with pulsing green cores. Their warriors, half orc, half human, fought with feral fury and unyielding endurance. They bore no allegiance to any god, no reverence for the Emperor, only devotion to a creed carved into their armor. ***, smash the strong, save the weak. ***, it was madness to the Imperium, blasphemy to the ecclesiarchy. Yet the people, broken and desperate, flocked to this new order. Across dying hive worlds, slaves and soldiers painted green symbols on their walls. On frontier planets, children were taught that in the darkest hour, strength was not sin, it was salvation. The Inquisition declared exterminatus on the first Gamma-aligned world, but when their fleet arrived, it was already gone. All that remained was a massive crater shaped like a fist, glowing faintly green, and a single message burned into the ground in High Gothic. ***, Hulk protects, ***, and from the warp itself, something stirred once more. The Chaos Gods, diminished but not dead, felt the ripple of power spreading across the material realm. They could sense the return of that impossible energy, that defiance that had once nearly undone them. Khorne's throne cracked. Inch's laughter stopped. Even the great unclean one's rotting grin faltered, because they could feel it, the echo of that roar, distant yet growing closer. Somewhere beyond reality, the Hulk was waking up. The warp quaked like a wounded beast. Its colors twisted into impossible patterns, and stars screamed as the barriers between realms began to fracture once more. From the edges of the immaterium, a sound began to build. A low, rumbling pulse that shook both demon and god alike. It wasn't words, not yet. It was something older, primal, the heartbeat of ***, rage incarnate ***. For the Imperium, the signs were unmistakable. Psychic storms erupted across 1,000 worlds, yet unlike the corruption of chaos, this energy brought order within chaos. Ships lost in the warp reappeared unscathed. Demons dissolved into green light. The Astronomicon burned brighter than it had since the age of the Emperor. On Terra, the High Lords panicked. Some thought the Emperor himself had returned. Others whispered it was something worse, an unholy reflection of his wrath. The Custodes stood silent before the golden throne, feeling a pulse radiate through the palace floor. A pulse that did not come from the Emperor. Meanwhile, in the void above Gamma Solis, a rift opened, so vast that entire fleets could have sailed through it. Out poured an emerald light that eclipsed the star itself. From within, a colossal silhouette began to take shape. The sensors of 1,000 ships failed. Simultaneously, Vox networks filled with static. Astropaths screamed and went blind, and then, through the blinding storm, a voice echoed across the galaxy, audible to every sentient mind. Hulk is back. The being that emerged defied all logic. It was the Hulk, but not the one who had fallen into the warp. This was something transcendent, something forged from both flesh and the immaterium. His skin blazed like molten jade, his eyes twin suns of fury and will. Every breath he took rippled across systems. In that moment, even the gods remembered fear. The Chaos Pantheon tried to resist. They hurled demonic legions and warp storms, resurrecting their fallen champions. But Hulk tore through them all. His fists shattered the warp's very fabric, sending shockwaves that ripped through demon worlds like paper. Khorne's broken throne was ground to dust. Nurgle's gardens burned. Inch's crystal labyrinth shattered into shards. Even Slaanish's pleasure palaces imploded into silence. Every blow Hulk struck rewrote reality itself. Where his fists fell, stars ignited. Where his footsteps landed, dead worlds bloomed anew. For the first time in existence, the warp recoiled, folding in on itself, and yet, Hulk did not destroy the galaxy. He stabilized it. His very essence became the barrier between madness and reality. His infinite rage, once a curse, became the wall that separated the material realm from the howling insanity beyond. The Emperor's light dimmed in reverence. His final thought whispered across the psychic sea, At last humanity has its protector. And then silence. When the warp finally calmed, Hulk was gone, not dead simply beyond, a myth again, a guardian unseen, watching from the folds of eternity. To this day, the people of Imperium still tell tales of the Green Titan. They say when the warp storms rise, when demons claw at the veil, when the galaxy trembles under its own cruelty, a massive green hand reaches out from the void to hold the darkness back, not a god, not a savior, just a being who was too angry to let the universe end. A Hulk keeps fighting. Millennia passed. Empires rose and crumbled. New species ascended and vanished. And even the stars themselves aged into red embers. Yet one story endured, whispered in the dark corners of hive cities, sung by void-born children, and carved into the armor of spacefaring crusaders. The tale of the Green Titan ***. For some, he was myth, a fable told to give courage against the terrors of the warp. For others, he was prophecy, a being destined to return when reality itself began to fracture once more. But for the few who had seen it, who had truly felt that pulse of raw power ripple through the cosmos, they knew. Hulk was real. Across the galaxy, strange phenomena began to occur. Entire demon incursions stopped before they began. Warp tiers sealed themselves without psychic intervention. And on dead worlds where nothing should have lived, massive footprints, fused into rock and glowing faintly green, were discovered by the Adeptus Mechanicus. Among the Inquisition, theories spread like wildfire. Was the Hulk a warp construct born from the Emperor's dream, a shard of some forgotten Old One's experiment? Or was he something far greater, the manifestation of the universe's own will, to survive ? A secret council of Ordo Malleus debated endlessly. One inquisitor, grim and scarred from countless campaigns, finally spoke the unthinkable. Perhaps the Hulk is what the Emperor wanted to be, not divine, not perfect, but unstoppable. His words were purged from record, but the thought remained. Then came the Black Dusk, an era where the Astronomicon flickered again, and a new chaos god, born from millennia of despair and guilt, rose in the warp. The galaxy trembled, ancient defenses faltered, and the Emperor's light waned. Even the Custodes began preparing for the end. But just as the warp's tendrils reached for Terra once more, a wave of emerald light burst through the void, silent, blinding, infinite. Across every planet, psychers fell to their knees, their minds echoing a single, thunderous voice. No more. From the heart of the warp, the Hulk emerged again, older, larger, his eyes burning with ancient fury and purpose. His every step tore holes through time itself, showing glimpses of every world he had saved, every battle he had fought. The Chaos God screamed and twisted, reshaping its form into monstrous avatars: despair, hatred, madness. But Hulk did not falter. He caught its clawed hand midst, wipe and snarled, his voice shaking existence. Hulk doesn't stop. And with a single punch, he shattered the god of despair into dust and light. In that instant, the warp began to heal, not banished, not destroyed, but restrained, balanced, controlled. Hulk had become its regulator, its guardian, its wrath. Eons later, when the Imperium had changed beyond recognition and the stars had drifted apart, an old text was discovered in the ruins of Holy Terra. It bore a single engraving, not words, but an image, a massive green figure holding up a crumbling galaxy in his palms. The inscription below it read, "He was anger, he was will, he was the wall between us and madness." And underneath, carved so faintly it was nearly invisible, Hulk still watching. As time itself began to decay, the galaxy neared its quiet end. Stars dimmed into embers, planets drifted lifeless through the black. The remnants of the Imperium, little more than fragments of legend, had long since faded. Yet somewhere, in the endless silence between realities, something still breathed, something that refused to die. The warp, once a storm of madness, had fallen eerily still. No demons whispered, no gods stirred. It was a void within a void, empty, but waiting. And then a heartbeat, deep, rhythmic, primal, the pulse of existence itself. Out of that darkness rose a light, faint at first, then growing until it filled every shadow, every forgotten corner of creation. It was not divine, it was not pure, it was angry fierce, alive. Hulk had never truly left. His essence had fused with the warp, reshaping it from within. His rage had become the universal constant, the force that kept all things from collapsing into nothingness. Every quasar's birth, every black hole's pull, every particle that defied oblivion, all of it moved to the rhythm of the green flame He was no longer man, monster, or myth. He was continuity the refusal of the cosmos to end. In this final age, a single spark of life appeared, a fragile ship carrying the descendants of long forgotten humanity. Lost and desperate, they drifted through the dying stars, seeking anything that could keep them alive. Their engines failed, their power gone, their faith extinguished. And then they saw it, a glow in the distance, a green shimmer through the void. As they approached, the light expanded, shaping into the vague outline of a colossal being. They couldn't comprehend it, couldn't measure it. Their minds could only register awe and heat and strength. Then a voice filled their ship, echoing not in sound, but in their souls. It was ancient, deep, and calm. Asterisk, asterisk, don't give up. Asterisk, asterisk, their engines reignited. The stars flared once more, and before their eyes, the green figure faded into the dark, smiling faintly, as though content. That day, those survivors became the founders of a new civilization, one that would carry on long after the old galaxy turned to dust. They worshipped no gods, no emperors. They honored one thing only, asterisk, asterisk, the flame that fights asterisk, asterisk, the eternal will that defied the end. Their records spoke of an ancient protector, neither mortal nor divine, who had held back the storm since time began. And in their prayers, they ended every ritual with a single phrase passed down from forgotten millennia. Asterisk, asterisk, Hulk endures. Asterisk, asterisk, because in every heartbeat, in every star that still dared to burn against the cold, a fragment of his power remained. The universe did not die. It simply grew quiet, watched over by the eternal green. Eras beyond reckoning passed. Civilizations rose upon the bones of the old galaxy, unaware of the ages that had come before. The Imperium, Chaos, the Eldar, the Orcs all gone, their legacies reduced to myths carried by starlight. Yet, across this reborn cosmos, an ancient energy pulsed quietly, invisible but omnipresent. The scholars of this new age called it asterisk, asterisk, the verdant force asterisk, asterisk, an inexplicable current that ran through all matter, stabilizing the fabric of reality. It was the reason their warp drives never failed, why their species evolved without psychic corruption, why the dark between stars no longer whispered. They worshipped it as a natural law, but it was more than that. In the far reaches of the Orion Nebula, explorers discovered a world unlike any other, a planet of emerald glass and molten soil. No atmosphere, no life, just silence. But beneath its surface, sensors detected something massive, humanoid. Buried deep, deeper than light could reach, lay a colossal figure, motionless, timeless, surrounded by faintly glowing veins of green energy. They dug for centuries, and when they finally broke through the crystal crust, they saw him, the Hulk, still as a mountain, his eyes closed, his fists relaxed, his body encased in a field of energy so dense it warped gravity itself. To approach him was to feel eternity pressing down, to glimpse every star's birth, every universe's death, all within the calm of his presence. The scientists couldn't comprehend what they found. They sent messages through the void and across countless systems. People came to see the asterisk, asterisk, Godbreaker asterisk, asterisk, the being who had once shattered the warp itself. His legend spread faster than any religion ever had. Then, on the 10th cycle of the planet's discovery, something stirred. A tremor rolled through the surface, the stars dimmed, the ground split open, and for a single, impossible moment, Hulk opened his eyes. The green light that spilled forth illuminated half the galaxy. His gaze alone reignited dying suns. And from the depths of his chest came a whisper, quiet, heavy, resolute, asterisk, asterisk, still holding, asterisk, asterisk, then his eyes closed again. The energy receded, the silence returned, but the universe felt different, calmer, more alive, as if existence itself had taken a deep breath. From that day onward, the galaxy changed, war became rare. Chaos, whatever shape it once took, could find no foothold. Every sentient race felt, in their bones, that something vast and watchful kept them safe. Generations passed, and the Godbreaker's planet became a place of pilgrimage. Not of worship, but of gratitude. People would stand before the green surface, place their hands upon the glass, and feel that faint hum of power beneath. They didn't pray for miracles. They simply said, "**, thank you, ***, and in the depths below, that faint hum would grow a little stronger, as if the Hulk himself could still hear. He wasn't a god. He never wanted to be. But in the end, he became something greater, the *** force of will that refused to fade ***, the eternal promise that no darkness, no madness, no cosmic despair could ever have the final word. Because somewhere, beneath the eternal stars, a single truth echoed forever through creation. ***, Hulk will never stop. Countless millennia later, the galaxy was no longer recognizable. Constellations had shifted, black holes had swallowed empires whole, and new stars had been born from the remnants of what once was. Civilizations flourished once more, fragile, curious, brilliant. They had no memory of the Imperium, no knowledge of the Chaos Gods, no trace of the Emperor or his wars. But they all shared one universal belief, a silent truth etched into their very DNA. They called it the *** law of the Green Dawn ***, the idea that destruction could birth renewal, that rage could be reborn as creation, that even the end was just another beginning. No one knew where it came from. Some thought it was a myth, others, a coded message from the universe itself. But on a quiet frontier world orbiting a young, golden star, a boy was born. His eyes glowed faintly green. His heartbeat resonated like thunder when he cried. The scientists called it a mutation, a quirk of radiation from a nearby nebula. But the ancient ones, those who still whispered the old stories, felt something deeper. They called him ***, the heir of the green flame ***. As the boy grew, strange things happened around him. Machines hummed to life when he walked past. The sick healed, storms calmed. And when raiders attacked his village, he stood before them unafraid as the sky itself turned emerald. A pulse rippled outward, shattering their weapons, freezing time for an instant. In that frozen moment, the boy heard a voice, deep, calm, infinite. ***, remember who you are. ***, he didn't understand, but he felt it, a connection to something ancient, vast, and powerful. Across the stars, observatories recorded a strange anomaly. A single green flare erupting from the edge of the galaxy, piercing the void like a heartbeat. Old texts from the age of myth were unearthed. Scholars argued, priests prayed, and the faithful fell to their knees. They all said the same thing, ***, the green titan stirs again. ***, the boy's dreams became visions of worlds burning, of the warp, reawakening, of shadows older than gods returning to devour creation. He saw twisted figures crawling out of the void, echoes of what the Chaos Gods once were, clawing at the edges of reality. Warp was trying to rise again, hungering for dominion, and in the dream's center stood a massive figure, not of flesh, but of light and fury. The Hulk. His eyes burned with the force of creation itself, and his voice was both a roar and a whisper. ***, it's your turn now. ***, the boy awoke with tears in his eyes and a universe in his veins. He understood. The legacy wasn't a story. It was. Cycle. Rage had become protection. Protection had become hope. And hope now demanded a new champion. He walked out beneath the twin moons of his world, his hands glowing with emerald fire, and whispered to the stars, ***, a Hulk, still watching. ***, and somewhere beyond time, beyond the last breath of the cosmos, the eternal green titan smiled. The green dawn had begun.